Welcome back everyone to another training week where we are watching the week of January 9th, the second week of 2023. Did my best to prepare my body to do full routines. This week I injured my chest, which we'll see later on P-bar, and I started experiencing some intense disorientation on high bar. So at the end of the last training week, I said that I would explain how I'm balancing training Maras with Pagan. My strategy was, because the taps are two kind of different taps and two different speeds, my strategy was to go to high bar right away after I do my general warm-up and do my Maras training first when I have full energy, and then go do my P-bar stuff and come back to do my high bar as I would be competing it with just a tuck Pagan. And for the first two sessions it worked out really well. I would do a Pagan where I touch the bar and do it maybe a couple of times, and the Marases were going quite well as well. And then something started to happen. The point in the giant, after you bounce at the top, on the way down I started experiencing disorientation. So I didn't know where I was and I couldn't tell how long to hold the arch before the tap, which was scary. The first time it happened I was so confused that I didn't let go of the bar. This also started happening in just the Kovacs taps, where usually I had quite a good feel of the bounce and how long to hold my disc shape before arching, but I got disorientated there too. Now, by the way, that little hiccup that I just did, I think was the first little bit that started hurting my chest. I didn't feel it at the time, but there's a turn where I went for a Makuts, put my hand down funny, and went straight into upper arm, and it was a really fast drop to upper arm, which triggered my chest. By the end of that day, I couldn't stand with relaxed shoulders, so I had to kind of hold my shoulders up a little bit, because if I relaxed it, I guess it pulled on my pecs and it really hurt. So since then I haven't been doing too much cross training, and right now I'm taking some time off doing Honmas. So I hurt my chest, but the routine work is coming along very good. Here you still see me working Pagans, knowing where I am, feeling pretty good about it. And I think it might have been actually after this session that I started getting disorientated. Just the other day, was it yesterday or was it a couple of days ago, did my first high bar routine without bending my knees in the dismount. Super excited about that. That's gonna save me 0.3, and then if I do it without piking, which I think I did, that's gonna save me another 0.3. And like most of you know that have been following my videos, that dismount at World Championships, I thought I had 0.9 off of that dismount alone. So my strategy is to water down a little bit at this point because the Pagan started getting disorientated. I've been actually going from Casina, and I think at this point I've gotten through 3 times. Now let's compare that to last year. Last year I had one clean routine on high bar before leaving to Cottbus World Cup, and the routine was slightly easier. It was Pagan and Coleman. So here now I'm doing Casina and Coleman for 0.1 more, and I've already gotten through 3 times, and 2 of the times were relatively clean. There weren't many big deductions in there. And I think I can say the same for Sam, who's coming to these World Cups with me. If we compare where all of us were at this time last year, we just finished our second or third week back at training. We're so far ahead of where we were last year. We're doing routines, and we're looking much better. So I gotta say a huge thanks to Lockie Ferrado. I think I mentioned that I wanted to take out the Makutes and put in the B Felga or Felge or Peach or whatever you want to call it. I need to stick with one name. Let's just call it a Peach. I'm used to calling it a Peach. The B Peach. And Lockie said, well, why not just take out the B Peach altogether and counter A instead? Because I didn't like how it felt to do the B Peach, go to the L-sit, hold the L-sit. It's kind of awkward when you finished your routine and you're just there holding your L-sit, doing your press to handstand. On one level, it's a nice rest, but on another level, it doesn't really look like a internationally competitive routine. And it is a bit awkward. You're just there holding L-sit and kind of you can see everyone watching you, and you know, it's a little bit distracting before the dismount. So Lockie, I gotta say thank you, because I've been doing it and I love it. I took out the Makutes, I've put in the Stutz after the Giant, and then the Healy after the Stutz. It's been working out really well. If I catch the Healy as my last skill with my hands slightly crooked, I'm thinking I can just do a half turn before the dismount and save myself another 0.1. Presuming the half turn is perfect, of course. So thank you, Lockie. And you know, guys, I don't think this is the first time that I've changed some of my gymnastics from just YouTube comments that you've given me. The other time that I remember is at the Commonwealth Games, one of the biggest competitions for New Zealand gymnastics. Somebody suggested to me to do the double twist from run up at the end. And I tried it before, it didn't work, but I decided to give it another try. It worked out. And literally 2 days later, I ended up just competing my floor routine and hitting it with a double twist dismount from run up. And that right there, I think was what finished my chest off. So I was, you know, had a good blood flow there. I'm warm, so I don't really feel much. You think you're okay, but like I said, by the end of this day, I had to hold my shoulders up because I couldn't relax them. Otherwise, I would have a very sharp pain. Maybe not quite as sharp as smashing that heel on the bar, but I got a massive bruise from that, I gotta say. But yeah, sharp pain in my chest. So I'm still working on that. I saw the physio, I got some needles in there, and I'm doing a little bit of supplementary strengthening to get back into it. The good news is it only affects me on one skill, and that's the Honma. So I did try to push it at the 360 national camp the weekend after this, and I did make the Honma, but I did notice that the chest got a little bit worse. So right now I'm doing a fairly simple P-bar routine with just a front uprise at the start, no Makutes, no Peach, but of course I'm gonna put in that Honma when the chest feels a little bit better. So anyway, thank you, Lockie. You're making my P-bar flow really nicely from start to finish. I'm excited for you guys to see the routines that I've been doing. This particular week, I did get through my first high bar routine, but because it was the first one, I didn't know exactly what my fitness level was like. So I ended up tucking the dismount. After I saw what happened though, I immediately knew that I didn't have to tuck at all. I could have laid it out. And the next week I came and, you know, went with that, trusted that I'll be okay doing it laid out, and it all paid off. So here's where I stand now. I think that what I should be shooting for, rather than trying to get all these extra 0.1s in difficulty, I want to just do a clean routine. By the way, first double front right there, first double front of the year, first double front I think since Commonwealth Games, and I stuck it. Lost my trail of thought. What I should be shooting for is... Oh, before that, sorry. I had to stop on Yurchenko full twist because I started feeling, when I'm putting my hands to the vault, I started feeling the intense pain. That was the first kind of clue I had that something was wrong. And of course I knew immediately that it would have been that Makut to up arm. When I was watching the videos back, I saw that that Healy to Ben arm, I thought that might have been the first little blunder. So anyways, where I'm at right now in terms of routines, I think I should shoot for a really nice clean routine. The routine with Cassina, I think it's a 15.4, 15.3, 15.4, something like that. But if I'm doing it nice and clean, it might just be a finals routine. There you see my full range of motion. I'm trying to get ready to do some pommel walks because of course I'm coming back to the all around. So I've got to start working on the one handle. Most of the hard skills in my routine are the one handle skills, Magyar and travel up. Not to mention the dismount, which goes through one handle. So I'm trying to not only do the balances on the single pommel and straighten out my elbows as much as I can to increase my range of motion. I'm also trying to get back to the single handle. There you'll see Henki and Peter in the background, and Peter, our big rocket scientist giant, just got married, so huge congratulations to Peter, and he's still coming into training just a week after getting married. So where were we? I'm trying to clean up and do an easier routine to hit the routine. So I might scrap working this pike stelda for the time being and put a little bit more attention on straightening my knees. Now, what you might have seen yesterday in the short that I posted a Coleman, and that Coleman in particular, I wanted to make sure I was just squeezed as tight as possible through the knees. And as you saw, I almost died. I went to catch the bar, and then I saw the bars almost behind me, and somehow instincts kicked in. It wasn't really conscious. I ducked down, and you see me do that quite a bit when I'm close to the bar. Ducked down, dodged the bar. The bar did brush my back. I could feel the t-shirt kind of on my back. So it was a bloody close call. And that's the tricky thing about changing minor detail. You change minor detail and it throws off your whole skill, sometimes to the point of being dangerous. That's what makes gymnastics so hard, you know. If you're sprinting and you change some minor detail, well, you might run slower, but you're not really putting yourself at risk or jeopardy. But here, when you're flying over a metal pipe, 1 little millimeter goes off, and you know that could mean your head instead of your hands on the bar, or even worse, your face. So you have to be extremely calculated. Now those knees were good. Those knees were really good. That tap was really good. It was nice and deep. I had to flare my arms out to slow down the rotation. Something I need to fix up was the knees in the Cassina. I think that was the first Cassina I caught of the year. I posted it as a short, but I guess if the first 2 releases are on the bar, if I get those, there's not much else there that's too risky. The Kachevs are fairly stable for me. It's rare that I'll miss them. The one-arm giant and the Quast, I could fix up my form a bit and catch the Quast higher. The Zoli Min is all about getting a nice wrist turn before I put my hand down and making sure the 360 on the way down is all the way turned. But there's nothing much there that's risky. So with this routine, if the Cassina and the Coleman go on the bar, the rest of it can just be focused on being clean. And then in the finals, if I make a final, who knows? You know, who knows? Maybe I could throw a Pagan. Maybe I could throw a Mars. In the finals, it's full send. So yeah, the quast is quite low. Good dismount, but that quast, you know, last week or this week, I've started doing it after the Stelda directly. My logic is that if there's less speed and from Stelda you kind of still before the quast, then maybe I won't shoot so much over. And then what happens is my body starts to compensate and pull myself over harder, because I guess there's a fear that you're not gonna go over the bar and miss your hand. And that's really what it is, right? There's everybody has these little fears, whether we're aware of it or not. And consciously or unconsciously, you do what's safer. And that's what makes quast or hop full so hard to catch in handstand. You don't want to let go too early, because, well, you might instead of going like this, you might go like that and miss it. Oh, I think it's the first spasm of 2023. Look at that. I should make a short out of that and call it a demonic position. I forget why I was spazzing out, because that turn was okay. Maybe I was exhausted. Still doing the Makuts there. So the P-bar without the Makuts is going to be a 15.8. I'll count an A instead of an E, which will bring me down 0.4. And I think that's the way to go. That way there's only one risk, which is the Peach 1 Healy. Giant D-arm is relatively stable these days, so I'll go with that. You can look forward to seeing that routine soon, sometime next week. Thanks for watching. Till next time.